Back in July 2025, that's just a few months ago, Sony announced the successor to this camera. This is the Sony RX1R Mark II, and the Mark III was announced on the 15th of July. It turned out to be a really controversial camera, and lots of people have been going onto YouTube and saying whether they think it's a completely ridiculous camera or whether it is something that they absolutely love. I've had this RX1R Mark II for about a year, and I have to say that I absolutely love the Mark II version. And so the question is, should I upgrade this camera to the Mark III? I'm not going to get into all the controversies about whether this camera is a competitor to the Fuji X100 Mark VI or the Leica Q3. Those tend to be quite personal and individual types of decisions. I just want to ask for all of those who do think that this is a great everyday camera, particularly for people who have other cameras. Maybe you're already a photographer and you use a larger camera for wildlife, sports, street photography, whatever it happens to be. You know, this camera can make a great everyday camera for street photography, travel photography, and family photography. Anything basically where you need something that is readily accessible, compact, easy to carry, and that you're more likely to have with you. So I'm not going to get into the controversy of whether you think this is a good package or not. I'm interested to know whether you think that the upgrade to this camera is worth it. You maybe have a Mark II version or a Mark I version. Maybe it's in good condition. This camera is in good condition. I did buy it second hand. It cost me about £2,000 around a year ago. That was the going rate for these cameras. They've dropped a little bit in price since then. They're now about £1,500 if you want to buy one second hand, on account of the fact that the Mark III is now available. The Mark III itself appears to be selling well for Sony. It started off at a really high price, but you can now get it for £3,799 from many of the UK retailers, and that's just £3,165 ex VAT. So it has come down hugely in price and now is much better value than it was previously. What do you get if you upgrade from the Mark II to the Mark III? First of all, you get 61 megapixels. This camera is a 42 megapixel camera, which is pretty good, but 61 megapixels is even better because it allows you to crop in more. And the Mark III does have some really nice crop modes where you can see what you're going to get if you crop to 50 millimeters or you crop to 70 millimeters. You get a touchscreen on the back, which is great. You get the new menu system and you get intelligent autofocus, the autofocus system that Sony is now deploying on cameras like the A7R Mark V and the A1, and that's one of the best autofocus systems that is on the market for any camera, and it's available in this compact form factor. You also get a better battery. The batteries on this camera are incredibly small, so you absolutely need to be carrying like several of them around with you because they don't last terribly long. The new one is still quite a small battery. It's the battery that's used in Sony's APS-C models, but it will definitely offer better battery life than the Mark II version of that. So those are all the things that you get. And of course you get a new camera. I guess it's a long time since Sony have actually been making the Mark II version. As I said, they're still available on the second-hand market, but obviously they're a little bit older. And if you go for a Mark III, you can get a brand new Sony camera that will no doubt last a long time. So those are all the things that you gain by investing that money. Of course, if it costs $3,799 and you only get about 1,500 from selling your old one, then that's still an investment of almost £2,300. So it's not inconsiderable, the cost of upgrading from the Mark II to the Mark III. But what do you lose? Because you do lose some things. The first and most important thing is that you lose the flip-up screen on the back. Now, I quite often use that flip-up screen so that I can shoot from waist height, or alternatively, you can tip it down if you want to raise the camera and shoot from high up. I find it really handy to use, and I really don't want to be without a flip up screen. I just cannot understand why Sony didn't put a flip screen on the new camera, even if it made a tiny difference of 1 or 2 millimeters to the thickness of the camera. And the other thing that you lose is that little pop-up viewfinder that you can see here. It's really excellent. The viewfinder is similar resolution in the new one, but it's fixed and it's on the camera all the time. But having that little pop-up viewfinder, I think was really, really handy. So I would really miss that. To be honest, those are the only things that I would miss. For me, I'm thinking, in view of the cost of £2,300, in view of the flip-up screen, and in view of the lack of the pop-up viewfinder, I'm thinking that I'll hold off for a while. Maybe, just maybe, Sony will eventually produce a Mark IV version of this that will have the flip-up screen, because there's been a massive reaction against their decision to not have it. But for me, I'm going to hold on for a while and not upgrade. But I would really love to know what you think about this. Do you think it's worth the upgrade? And if you do, please put something in the comments and let me know that you think that. And if you're prepared to say why, I would really appreciate that. It's good to gather some views on these subjects. So drop me a line in the comments and tell me whether you think the upgrade is worth it. £2,300 in UK terms, that's probably about $3,000 in US terms to upgrade from the old Mark II to the Mark III. Is it worth the benefits that you get? And do the things that you lose make a difference in your calculations? So thanks for watching this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.